the coming of the King of the Jews. 16 saints salute for him.
Hello, this is Dr. Gregg Mays with your Word Wednesday. I've been thinking quite a bit recently, and as we look at how our world or how our country is looking, from time to time we see chaos, quite honestly, and a lot of that chaos is racially kind of drawn, if you will, racially initiated. And I was thinking about something. What is the church doing about that? As we look around and we see that many of our churches, if you go into your home church, most of the people in your church look like you. And don't try to be funny. We understand what we mean when we make that expression. But that isn't necessarily the early church, especially when it came to languages. So if you recall in the book of Acts, in chapter 2, the day of Pentecost, the believers, the Christians, the ones who were in the upper room with Peter and John and James and everybody that was up there, well, when the Holy Spirit came and fell upon them, they began speaking in tongues. Well, the other people who were standing around, they heard the wonders of God being expressed in their own language. And so this was quite fascinating. And so many believers came to trust in God that day. Peter gives this sermon, and when it ends, they say, and 3,000 were added to their numbers. Well, as we move over into Acts, still Acts 2, but at verse 42, I want you to notice something. Now, this is this diverse church. They spoke different languages. They were from different areas, but they all believed together. Now, watch this. It says they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. So they did all this together. They sat under the teaching, they broke bread, they fellowshiped, they grew together. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. You see, God was pleased with this. And people were coming. They had favors like, hey, what's going on over there? People wanted to be a part of that. But there was diversity there. And we look at our churches today, we don't see that all the time. We should see that. There is no reason for us not to be diverse. So I'm challenging you. I'm asking you to look at your home congregation and ask yourself this question. Why are we not more diverse? Why don't we look like the Acts chapter 2 church? Why am I so focused on wanting to be around people who look like me, who say the same things that I say, who speak the same kind of ideologies? We're not talking about Christianity. We're talking about other ideologies. Why am I only around them? This isn't what they were doing in the early church. And they flourished. I know this isn't easy to hear. Okay. We have to hear the tough stuff because that's where the growth is. Jesus Christ getting on that cross for us, we should be willing to do any and everything in our power to share his gospel to everyone, not just the people that look like us. I know that's challenging, but you know what? I pray that this is a blessing for you. And remember, stay strong.
All rise for the coming of the King of the Jews. 16 saints salute for him.